Well, there's a lot of excitement around new technology coming from startups continuing to push boundaries of how we live our daily lives. And whether it's health, recreation, entertainment, new devices are becoming available to enhance all of our experiences. Our next guest has her finger on the pulse of what's hot and happening in the world of tech. And joining us live by satellite from Arlington, Virginia, Suzanne Kantra. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Techalicious.com. Suzanne, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
What a fantastic website name, first of all. Can we just put that out there?
Thank you.
It is amazing to me. We've just pushed fast forward on these conveniences, and tech is continuing to push the boundary. I finally got the fancy watch that everybody is wearing, and it really is changing the way that I'm exercising and paying attention to a lot of things. But you have some picks on the horizon of things that really are changing the landscape.
Absolutely. So what we're seeing is technology that we used to think of as futuristic, really coming in to everyday life experiences. So with me today, I have the OhmniLabs. This is a telepresence robot. And so think about whether you're somebody who is a professor and needs to teach a class, but you can't actually be there. With the OhmniLabs robot, this can walk in front of the class and sort of mimic what you would do if you were actually there. Your face is on the screen. You can look around because the robot can move. You can call on people in class. And this is really going to be able to have you visit places and be places that you couldn't otherwise be.
Wow.
Also, we're also looking at e-bikes as an emerging category. This is from Circle. It's the S1. It gets up to 12 miles of range. It only weighs 17 pounds. And so this is the world's smallest and lightest e-bike. It folds up. You could put it in your backpack. So if you're commuting, this is going to be able to save on having to drive. Drones are also something that we're hearing a lot about, but they're difficult for most people to pilot. So Drones by Us is the D-Bus 2, and it takes away a lot of those pain points. So you don't have to set up the GPS. It uses cameras, and it also has one-touch takeoff and one-touch landing.
Wow. I was out in a parking lot the other day and heard the familiar buzz, and I know a lot of, for commercial use, that certainly you have to have a pilot's license, but it's amazing to me how small and portable those drones have become and how many folks are embracing them. It gives you a whole different perspective.
Absolutely, and when it's so easy to use, then it does become something that anybody can play around with. You can use it inside, outside, take it on vacation. So it's a nice thing to be able to take a look at.
Right. We heard the stories a couple weeks ago about the dad that put the drone up, I think it was on the beach, and saw some of the sharks in the water. Not to scare anyone, but it gives you an entirely different perspective of what's going on. That telepresence robot that you were talking about to begin with just seems fascinating to me. We started to see some video there of how it actually comes into play. Is this like, it's not a hologram, but this thing's almost early generation of you being in many places at once?
Absolutely. So, what the applications that you're looking at are for business. You could have this robot roll up to a seat at the table for a board meeting, for instance, and it makes it feel as though that person is there. The interaction is much more lifelike. But you could also use it in the home. It has a 13-megapixel camera, so, if you had to have a doctor's visit in the home, that doctor would be able to really see what's going on.
Wow. It is just
there's a lot of
fascinating. You see so many applications there of how that can be put into play.
Absolutely. There are a lot of other ways that technology is really improving everyday life, too. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Clear Up, and it uses microcurrents, waveforms, and you run it around your eye, and it relieves sinus pressure without having to take medication. So a lot of people suffer from seasonal allergies. This is going to be able to let you get that relief without having to take a pill.
Wow. A game changer, because for folks who suffer from sinus pain, and Richmond is the allergy bowl of the world, I'm pretty sure that could be a really handy device for a lot of folks to have.
Absolutely. Another thing that we all struggle with, or a lot of us struggle with, is eating healthier and having a healthier lifestyle. The folks at Fresh Try worked with Walmart associates to figure out how is it best to develop those healthy habits. And what they came up with is a series of iterations of habits. And so instead of determining what you should do, it's what works for you. So if you want to eat less, maybe you try using smaller plates at dinner time, or you cut it off at, you put one serving of food on your plate, and then that's it for you. Or maybe you just buy smaller boxes or smaller packages of things. And so by going through different ways of getting to the same goal, you're going to have success.
Suzanne, some great ideas, and especially with the most recent one with the health reminders, a nice way to take small steps. It's bite size. It doesn't have to be the whole kit and caboodle at once.
Absolutely. Yeah. So another area that we're seeing a lot of innovation is in virtual reality. And so I have two products here, both software-based. This is the Mind VR, and it helps seniors reconnect with activities that they might not be able to do anymore. And so they can go surfing, they could tour if they're not able to travel anymore, they can conduct a concert. So lots of different content to be able to have seniors reconnect with those activities.
And that socialization.
And then healing.
That socialization is absolutely key. Suzanne, you've had some great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate talking with you today. And for more on that, we'll have a direct link on our website, WTV.